Metro Manila has the most number of celebrity politikos running for various elective positions this 2025 elections. We'll have two celebrated actors today. One is running for Vice Mayor of Makati City, and the other is vying for a seat as Mayor of Manila. Will their celebrity status carry them to victory next year? Live at the BNC studio is former Congressman of the 1st District of Makati City and now running for Vice Mayor of Makati, Monsour Del Rosario. Good morning, Congressman Monsour.
Good morning, Attorney Karen. Nice introduction. Will the celebrity status propel them to win the election?
Yeah, we'll see. And of course, we want to get to know you better and your platforms.
Sure.
So to start things light, we'll be showing photos in the LED screen.
Okay.
And because they all relate to you,
Okay.
give us your thoughts.
Okay.
Okay. Let's start with this picture. So this is the city of Bacolod. And we heard that you grew up in a hacienda.
Well,
Is that
yeah,
true?
kinda. In Barangay Granada, where the family's properties were really vastly controlled by the family. And so I spent a lot of time in the farm growing up as a kid, playing with, siyempre, yung mga kasama namin sa farm, yung mga bata dun. You know, that's where I learned how to play basketball and all those games na mga pikyaw and tumba pates and all those Ilonggo games and all the going to the river, you know, probinsyang buhay.
Your roots are talagang
Probinsyano
in
talaga ako.
Oo,
I mean,
Ilonggo.
I just stayed long na here kasi in Makati since 1977. But every time may vacation kami, talagang umuwi ako sa probinsya. And I still have a lot of childhood friends that are there.
And we heard that you were bullied in school at some point. Is that true? Parang ang hirap ma-imagine because now we see you as an athlete. So
Yeah,
parang hindi
well,
kayong type na mabubully pag bata.
Well, hindi. Kasi maliit akong bata, payat, at yung mga kaklase ko, medyo mas malaki sa akin. And yung experiences ko being bullied and the Bruce Lee movies is what got me interested to the world of martial arts. As soon as I saw Bruce Lee in The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon, Enter the Dragon, wala na-obsess na ako sa martial arts.
Okay.
Yan
Sige,
na yung-
we'll
yun na
get
yung
to that
pangarap ko.
later. We want to find out why you ended up going to be an athlete in Taekwondo. Let's look at the next picture. This is Forbes Park.
That's my grandmother's. She lived there, and my grandfather, from 1961, they were already living there. And
Why did you end up living with your lola?
because my parents, yung mga magulang ko sa Negros Occidental, asked me if I wanted to study high school in Manila. Of course, I was hesitant because, first of all, I can't speak Tagalog back then.
Ilonggo yung language mo talaga.
Gagatiko, dila ako, maghambal ko Tagalog, kay hindi ko kabalo maghambal Tagalog. So, gasakit ang dila ako maghambal Tagalog. So, they said, you have to take the challenge and learn, and you have better education in Manila. So, I ended up studying in Colegio San Agustin in Makati, which is very near where my grandmother and grandfather lives. So, that was my first introduction to Makati City, 1977.
Did it come as a big change? Because coming from, as you said kanina, probinsya talaga. And then suddenly, you were living in the most affluent subdivision in the Philippines.
Medyo na-shock ako. Kasi nagulat ako na ang lalaki ng building, and they were not as big as the buildings now, no? Ang laki ng mga sinihan, ang linis, and then siyempre, yung mga girls sa school, mas maganda, nakikita ko. Sabi ko, wow, walang mga mistisa masyado sa probinsya namin. And then, ang sports, ang dami mong choices na pwedeng gawin. Limited lang kasi sa amin noon. So, yeah, and then yung mga tao, parang iba yung mga forma nila. Iba yung mga asta nila. So, I said, I have to learn how to fit in here. So, it
And
took a
you
while.
were able to adjust naman.
Yeah, it took a while, yeah. After maybe a few years, I was able to adjust to how especially Makati people were.
And Let's look at the next picture.
Oh, Uncle Albert. Oh my God.
So you are related to former DFA Secretary Albert Del
Yeah,
Rosario.
he's-
Was he the first person to go into public service?
Yes, in our family, well, wow, I kind of got sentimental. He's very close to me. You know, his children are very close to me. His father and my grandfather are brothers. And we have always looked up to him and respected him a lot. He's very intelligent, and the way he carries himself is like a true gentleman, you know. I mean, he did a lot for the Philippines too.
And why did you not go into foreign service?
Yeah, well, no, his upbringing was different from mine. His experiences were different from mine. And, well, my dream was to be Bruce Lee. That was my dream, my childhood dream.
So that-
And I don't know how many people can say they lived their childhood dream. Like when I was
Yes,
10
that's
years
true.
old, I said, paglaki ko, I want to be Bruce Lee.
And that's related to our next picture. So, this is you in the
Oh.
Seoul Olympics.
No,
So-
this is, no, not Olympics. This is
No.
the World Championships.
World
This is
Championships.
the 1985 7th World Taekwondo Championships when Taekwondo was painful. There was no headgear, no shin guard, no arm guard, no mouth guard, no rubber mats, no electronic armor. It's old school Taekwondo. People were getting knocked out. People were losing their teeth, broken bones. This was the toughest tournament I ever entered, and it was in Korea.
And-
I was.
Did you win?
Yes, I won.
Oh,
I was
wow.
the first Filipino student of Grandmaster Sun Chun Hong, the father of Philippine Taekwondo, to be able to get a medal at the World Championships, and the second Filipino to win it.
Wow. And after this, you ended up going to the Olympics
Yes,
as well
yes.
in 1988.
Yes, but prior to the Olympics, I won the Asian Games, the first Filipino to win the Asian Games. And then I was one of the first two Filipinos to win the Southeast Asian Games and become Southeast Asian champion. And then one of the first two Filipinos to qualify and fight in the Olympic Games in the 1988 Seoul Olympics.
Very
Yeah, wow.
impressive. And how did your
Wow, good
family
background.
support you
Well,
on this? Because it looks like you have family that's in business for
Didn't-
many generations, and then someone that, very, very private.
Yeah,
And-
they didn't like the idea. They didn't like the idea that I'd become an actor. They didn't like the idea of me getting into sports and wanting to be a national combat sport athlete and represent the country. They were all very hesitant with what I wanted to do. But eventually, my mother and my stepfather, they really supported me. Of course, my siblings were my biggest cheering squad. Some of my friends were also hesitant because sinasabi nila, walang Pilipino na nanalo dyan. Combat sport yan. Third world country lang tayo. Tapos lalabanan mo yung Korea, tapos yung ibang bansa. Sira ulo ka, magugulpi ka dyan. Well, nagulpi ako. Na-knockout ako. Nabasag ilong ko dalawang
my
beses.
goodness.
Nabasag yung ribs ko. So, ang dami kong gerang naranasan sa ring na masakit. But
And the trainer you had was in the Philippines.
he was a Grandmaster Hong and Grandmaster Kim Yung-ju and a few other, Han Kyu-sang, Grandmaster Han Kyu-sang. We had Korean trainers, and every summer we would be sent to Korea from, let's say, pag walang pasok kasi bakasyon, kaysa nag-enjoy ka, sacrifice ka.
training, yeah.
If you want to be champion, eat, sleep, train, study. Yun lang ang buhay ko noon. Wala akong masyadong social life. Kaya medyo ang laking discipline mong kailangan para ma-achieve yung pangarap mo. And pangarap ko was to be the first Filipino Olympic Taekwondo fighter of the country.
And the cost, your parents were
Well, they
okay
were-
with supporting the cost of all of that.
Yeah, sort of. Medyo sabi lang nila na ano future mo dito? Wala kang mapapala rito kasi Taekwondo at that time wasn't known. That's why I was asked by the president of the World Taekwondo Federation, Dr. Un Yung Kim, and the leaders of the Grandmasters of Korea to join the movie industry, to use my Taekwondo skills, to showcase my skills on the movies so that young Filipinos would watch it, get inspired, get motivated, and hopefully pick up the combat sport.
In the same way you were inspired by
Bruce Lee. So I'm very happy and very proud to say that back in the day, it was only 500,000 kids doing taekwondo. Now it's 10 million kids in the Philippines doing
Big
taekwondo.
Number. And speaking of movies, let's look at the next picture.
Oh.
This is you, Enteng the Dragon.
It's-
So, was it Dolphy that influenced you to go into showbiz?
Yeah, si Tito Dolphy kasi yung mga anak niya kaklase ko, si Ronnie Quezon sa Lasal, and si Eric Quezon naman, kaklase ng sister ko sa Ateneo. And kaibigan ko sila. And yeah, it was him who convinced me and asked me na I'm doing a spoof of Enter the Dragon. I'm looking for a new talent, a martial artist that's good looking and you know, tall and has the movie charisma, you know.
And what was it like facing the cameras? From being an athlete?
It was nerve-wracking for me because unang-una, hindi ako marunong mag-Tagalog noon.
Pa rin?
Hindi talaga ako marunong. Tapos, Bisaya, Ilonggo, yun. Kung ang pelikula, Ilonggo, nag-best actor na ako, hapus-hapus, magkatagline. Pero kung mag-Tagalog, budlay-budlay. So, hirap na hirap ako. Tapos, acting-wise, I have no acting experience. I could fight, I could do the stunts, I could do the fight choreography. But I had to go through workshops, I had to do stage plays, I had to do so many things to be able to learn.
And then memorize your script, which is in Tagalog.
Yeah, wow, that was really so hard. But ngayon, wala nang problema. After so many years of doing it, you know, hindi na ako nahirapan.
Wow, but the things you had to go through, just to enter.
Yeah, just to achieve the goals that they put me out to achieve. Yeah.
And let's look at the last picture. This is Makati City Hall. So
my
I think
office
this is
before.
closer to where you are going now and where you are now in your career. So you lost in the 2000 elections, but won in your next two attempts for a council seat in Makati. And also you became a congressman of Makati.
Yes.
So who influenced you to go into politics?
I'd say my father-in-law. He's the one who really kind of like told me, why don't you give it a shot? You know, I mean, he's the one who like said, I mean, there are other celebrities who are doing it, and I know you're better than them. I know you're smarter than them.
Who is your father-in-law? Is he also in politics?
Well, yeah. Well, he's not. Well, he kinda is, but kinda not. He's always been part of the political world. His name is Jimmy Zapanta. So he's very supportive of me. And of course, my wife, his daughter Joy, my wife, they're both very supportive of me. And I was like kind of hesitant, but like kind of half my. But every time I see my kids and I see the youth, it's kind of like I can't go out of this world and not contribute and try to make a better change for their life to be better.
And at that time, since you already won as congressman, why did you not finish 3 terms as congressman
Good
instead
question,
of
Karen.
running for a local position? Because
Good question.
napaka-entrenched ng
You know,
mayor sa Makati.
Yes, a lot of people in Congress, my friends in Congress, were all telling me, why are you stepping down? Why don't you continue? It doesn't matter who you go up against. Just, you're here, you're doing a good job. But, you know, honestly, no one's asked me this. This is the first time I'm going to talk about it. Because of my respects and, how would I say, to the one who took my position, when Vice President Jojo Binay said he was going to run in my district as congressman, because of my respects for him, I stepped down. And I said, sir, I'm not going to challenge you. I'm going to support you. A lot of people were saying I'm crazy. I could have gone up against him and all that. But I don't know what his motives were before. I just said, I'm not gonna go up against you. I'll step back and I'll support you. But sadly, he didn't make it. It's my opponent now for Vice Mayor of Makati that beat him. So it's ironic that him and his daughter chose me to be the Vice Mayor of, can I mention her name?
Of course,
Senator
yes.
Nancy Binay. They chose me to be Nancy Binay chose me to be her Vice Mayor to purposely go up against him, to the guy who beat his father, her father.
This is
So
Kid
yeah,
Peña.
yeah.
Okay.
So he's my opponent in this coming election. Him and his partner, the mayor, the brother-in-law of Senator Nancy. So it's both of them versus the Nancy Monsour tandem.
And now let's talk politics. Why did you decide to be former Senator, Nancy Binay, Senator Nancy Binay's running mate, considering it is a bit of a delicate situation because she's running against her brother-in-law. And now, of course, you're also running against someone that you also have a history with politically. So why choose Senator Nancy Binay as your running mate?
Well, Attorney Karen, people were saying that I'm crazy to accept and crazy to fight for Makati people, to represent Makati as their vice mayor, because my opponent, they say, they consider him as like a living legend in Makati politics. But basing on my track record as a congressman, as a councilor, the services that I've given, I didn't do any misdoing. And when I go now in the streets and talk, these past 2 months I've been talking to so many of them, they want me to resurrect that kind of service that I offered and gave them before. And to think when I was offering those services and was giving those services, the administration of the City Hall was against me. But in spite of that, I was still able to deliver. And now they're all saying, we want you to win, we wish you can come back, take care of us. So let's see if the voices of the people can be heard through me and through Senator Nancy Binay. Senator Nancy Binay, when I got to talk to her about being her partner, of course, I was kind of hesitant because it wasn't part of my plan. I kind of wanted to go back to Congress, but she needed somebody that she could trust, somebody she could depend on, someone who has good track record and knows that could perform. So when I was congressman, modesty aside, I did 292 bills. Okay?
You authored.
Yeah.
Wow.
292 bills in
years.
3 years and resolutions. And I passed a law called the Telecommuting Act. That law was purposely to kind of fix the traffic problems in Makati and probably in the
And
entire
this was
country.
even before COVID.
This
You were
was before
already
COVID, yeah.
thinking of allowing people to work from home.
From home. And kaya nabansagan ako ng ama ng work from home law. And COVID hit, that law of mine helped Filipino people survive, earn money, take care of their families because of the law I passed. And all this I did for Makati City. Now, and during my services, when the services I gave, they would say, it's so different from the congressman that's sitting now. They said, the way you took care of the senior citizens, the sick, they all kind of miss it. So,
But these are completely different mandates. Like, as a congressman, it's
Yeah.
lawmaking,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
now you're
Yeah.
going to go into
that's why I was
local
hesitant.
government na talagang execution lagi. Oo.
Yeah, I was kind of hesitant to do the vice mayor thing, but Senator Nancy said, I really need you to be here with me. I mean, her husband's also a good friend of mine, a fellow golfer.
Yes.
And I'm very close to her campaign manager, who's also a golfer. because I also play a lot of golf. So I kind of like, I asked my wife, because I don't want to fight with her. I said, let's sit down with them, because she said she preferred me in Congress. But eventually, after several meetings, we ended up agreeing to be her partner and then to be in tandem with her. And so far, it's been really great. I'm hats off to her, the way she's taking care of the team, of us.
So it's been a
Yeah.
really good fit.
Yeah.